I'm going to be honest. I don't think planes should exist. I don't think it's natural as a human being to be 40,000 feet in the air going 500 miles an hour in a silver tube. It just seems inhumane. I feel like a sardine when I'm up there, right? And on my flight home from Mexico City last week, I don't normally get flight anxiety, but this was different. Okay? Because it started before I even got on the plane, right? Because I was supposed to leave on Sunday. My flight got canceled because of bad weather, so I had to reschedule to Tuesday, right? And as it's leading up to my flight on Tuesday, I get some information that you never want to get. That my flight is delayed because of the weather, right? I don't get flight anxiety, right? I don't get flight anxiety. But by the time I sat on this goddamn plane, I was writing out a letter to my parents. I'm not joking. Right, because I get to the airport early because when the flight's delayed, you always just want to be there early just to make sure everything's okay, right? So I'm there hanging out, flight gets delayed again because the weather's so bad in New York. There's a tornado ripping through the city as we speak, right? It's all good. Zoning it out. My heart's beating a little faster, but I throw my daisies on. I got ocean noises playing. I'm pretending I'm still at the beach in Mexico having a good time, right? But that was not going to last long. Okay, because eventually we do board the plane. Mind you, I'm sitting in an aisle seat, which is typically my favorite seat, but in this situation, it was the worst possible seat on the plane because of the guy who was sitting next to me. This guy should have bought 2 seats. Let me tell you, 2 seats, because he was overflowing into both. The dude at the window was like crunched up against the window the whole entire time. Right before we take off, he's reading my texts, asking me about my relationship with my mom as I'm texting my mother, telling her that the flight's gonna be delayed, right? Put it to the back of my mind. As I'm about to put my headphones on though, the pilot has an announcement. Which genuinely, I don't even know why you would say this to the people on your plane. Welcome to the flight on Mexico City to New York City. We are hoping to make it to New York by the end of the flight today, and just want to let you guys know that we might not make it to New York today. Excuse me, boss, what's the alternative? Are we raising hands here? Is there time for questions at the end? Where else are we gonna go? Huh? I'm telling you, I don't get flight anxiety, but this was different. It's already a 5.5-hour flight. I'm incredibly uncomfortable based on the dude that's sitting next to me, looking over my shoulder every time I go through my photos. And now we might not even make it to where we're supposed to go. And genuinely, I didn't think we were gonna make it anywhere halfway through this flight. Okay, because eventually we take off. I put my headphones on, I just wanna sleep. And typically, I cannot fall asleep on a plane, but for whatever reason, I knocked the fuck out on this one. I got my daisies on, ocean noises playing. I'm telling you, bro, I was in deep sleep in REM, right? I got my neck pillow. All of a sudden, the most turbulence I've ever felt in my entire life. I get woken up. Even, you know what they say when there's turbulence? You look at the flight attendants, even the flight attendants. Bro, we're going down. It's a good thing I wrote that note to my parents when I was waiting to get on the plane, bro. I'm not joking. Headphones are in my lap. They flew off my head. I look up at the screen in front of me. And this is when it all hits, right? That you're flying in a silver bullet 40,000 feet above the ground. Because I can see all the statistics. We're going 550 miles an hour, and we're gaining 100 feet, dropping 100 feet, boof, 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 40,000 feet in the air, with nothing but a thin metal sheet separating me from death. All of a sudden, the seat's getting smaller, right? It's coming into me. My knees are scrunching up against the seat in front of me. You know, I'm freaking out. The flight attendants, everybody, put your seatbelts on. We're going down. I put my headphones on. Shh. Ocean noises. Ocean noises. Ocean noises, right? The ocean noises. Sit back down. The turbulence calms down. I'm breathing. I'm calm. I've never had this much flight anxiety in my life before. The dude next to me is flowing over into my seat. But the ocean noises calm me down. All of a sudden, the turbulence slows down. The flight attendants, hey, it's okay. It's all okay. The pilot, so sorry about the turbulence, you guys. As I mentioned earlier, we might not make it back to New York, but I think we will be making it back to New York. All of a sudden, the sun's shining through the window. Space is opening up. The guy's moving his seat up in front of me. Ocean noise is playing in the back. Zone all that shit out. The kids that are screaming because the turbulence knocked them out of their seat. Can't hear them anymore. Noise cancellation is blasting. Fell asleep the rest of the flight. But it's those moments, right, when you're on the plane and you really realize as a human being, we were never meant to be up this high. You can fucking hike Mount Everest and you won't even get that high. Nonetheless, going 550 miles an hour. Those are the moments where I really start to question some of the things we've invented as human beings. Although it's safer than driving a car, it doesn't always feel like it when you're in a plane.